Elsa's secondary eyes dilated in horror as the scanners painted an impossible signature across her display. The bridge of the Calthrine merchant vessel Whisper of Tides fell silent, save for the rhythmic pulse of the warning beacon. "That can't be right," her navigator chittered, mandibles clicking nervously. "Run the scan again." But Elsa knew better. Her ancestors had passed down the stories, whispered warnings that every spacefaring species learned at their parents' side. The distinctive energy signature, the angular hull design that defied conventional physics, the sheer audacity of its approach vector through the Narrows, a region of space so treacherous that even the warlike Cretan avoided it. A human ship. "All stop," Elsa commanded, her four arms moving across the controls with practiced precision. "Cut engines. Minimal life support only." "Captain?" her first mate questioned, confusion evident in his bioluminescent patterns. "Do it," she hissed, "and pray to the eternal currents that they haven't noticed us yet." The humans were supposed to be legends, cautionary tales told to young ones who dreamed of exploring the stars too recklessly. A species so stubborn they had clawed their way into space from a death world, a planet that should have killed them 1,000 times over. Stories said they survived by refusing to die, by adapting to horrors that would break any sane species. Most civilized beings assumed the tales were exaggerated. Propaganda from the first contact wars, perhaps, or simple mythology that had grown in the telling. Elsa had believed that too, until now. The human vessel moved through the asteroid field like a predator, weaving between rocks that would have shattered the Whisper's shields. Its engines burned with an intensity that spoke of materials that shouldn't exist, reactions that violated half the known laws of thermodynamics. "They're hailing us," her communications officer reported, voice trembling. Elsa's blood ran cold. "Don't respond." But it was too late. The message translated across their systems automatically, the human language processed through their universal translator. "Unidentified vessel, this is the UHSV Indomitable, Captain David Reeves commanding. You appear to be adrift. Do you require assistance?" The bridge crew stared at Elsa. In all the stories, humans were warriors, conquerors. They had fought the Cretan Empire to a standstill, had survived attacks from the Hive Collective, had somehow negotiated peace with the enigmatic Vex despite not sharing a single common reference for communication. They didn't offer help, they took what they wanted. "Captain," her first mate urged, "we must respond. Our engines are cold. If this is truly a human vessel and they think we're hostile." Elsa had heard those stories too. Human ships didn't retreat. They didn't surrender. When backed into a corner, they became something primal and terrifying. With trembling appendages, she opened a channel. This is Captain Elsa of the Calthrine merchant vessel Whisper of Tides. We are experiencing minor technical difficulties." A pause, then a new voice, warm and surprisingly gentle. "Copy that, Whisper. Stand by. We're sending over an engineering team." "No," Elsa's response was immediate, instinctive. "Every story warned against allowing humans aboard your ship. They studied, they learned, they adapted. That won't be necessary, we can handle." "Captain Elsa," the human interrupted, and now she could hear something in his tone, understanding, perhaps even amusement. "We both know your engines aren't just having minor difficulties. You saw us and shut down everything. Your heat signature dropped 40% in 30 seconds. Exposed, Elsa's skin flushed purple with embarrassment. "Let me guess," the human David continued. "You've heard the stories, Deathworlders, warmongers, species too stubborn to know when they're beaten." He paused. "Some of those stories are true, but not all of them." Against every instinct, against generations of inherited fear, Elsa asked, "Which ones?" "The stubborn part," David admitted, and she could swear she heard a smile in his voice. "We did crawl up from a gravity well that should have crushed us. We did survive ice ages, plagues, predators that outmatched us in every physical category. We did fight wars with species that had been spacefaring for millennia when we were still figuring out basic metallurgy. The Indomitable moved closer, and Elsa resisted the urge to order evasive action. But you know what else is true, David continued. We survived because we learned to help each other. Because when everything in the universe was trying to kill us, we discovered that cooperation was the ultimate adaptation. We're not monsters, Captain Elsa. We're just very, very determined survivors who remember what it's like to be afraid. A small shuttle detached from the human ship, approaching slowly, deliberately non-threatening. Your coolant system is failing, David said matter-of-factly. You've got maybe 2 hours before it cascades. We carry spare parts compatible with Calthrine systems. We'll fix it, refuse payment, and be on our way. All we ask is that maybe, just maybe, you remember that humans can be more than the scary stories. Elsa watched the shuttle approach, her heart, all three of them, pounding in synchronized terror and curiosity. Perhaps, she thought, it was time for new stories. Permission to dock, she said quietly, granted. When the human engineering team came aboard, led by a woman who couldn't have been more than half Elsa's height, but who moved with the confidence of someone who had stared down the universe and won, they worked with efficiency and surprising gentleness. They fixed the coolant system, replaced 3 burnt-out regulators, and even optimized the Whisper's power distribution. David Reeves never came aboard, but before the Indomitable jumped away into the darkness, one final message arrived. Safe travels, Captain Elsa, and next time you see a human ship, maybe don't freeze. We're honestly pretty friendly once you get to know us. Elsa watched the impossible vessel disappear into FTL, leaving only a fatting energy signature and a new story, one she would tell differently than her ancestors had told theirs. The humans were real, and they were far more terrifying than the legends suggested. Because they were kind,